Respected Shri Manoj Das Gupta, Managing Trustee of Sri Aurobindo Ashram Trust and Registrar of Sri Aurobindo International Center of Education, respected Padmashri Manoj Das, internationally acclaimed writer and board member of Overman Foundation, Aridev Shukla, dear friend from Auroville, and our most respected and beloved Aster Didi, and all the members of my spiritual family assembled here, I welcome you all to the 9th Auro Ratna Award ceremony hosted by Sri Aurobindo Center of Education. Ever since the inception of Overman Foundation in March 2010, we, its members, have tried to recognize the invaluable contribution of all those individuals, the pioneers, whose tireless efforts have enriched the Aurobindonian movement. Accordingly, the Auro Ratna Award was started in 2010, and its first recipients were Amal Kiran, Professor Aurobindo Basu, and Jugal Kishore Mukherjee. In 2011, the award was presented to Dr. Kirit Joshi, Dr. Prithvindra Mukherjee, and Sri Robi Gupta. In 2012, the award was presented to Dr. Prema Nandakumar and Shraddhavan of Savitri Havan, Auroville. In 2013, the award was presented to Dr. Ananda Reddy. In 2014, the award was given to Ms. Shobha Mitra. In the year 2015, the award was presented to Padmashri Manoj Das. In 2016, the award was given to late Chitra Bose, the erstwhile managing trustee of Sri Aurobindo Shakti Center Trust and principal of Sri Aurobindo Balamandir, Calcutta. Last year, that is in 2017, the award was given to Ms. Tara Johar. Dear friends, it gives me immense pleasure to announce that the Auro Ratna Award for the year 2018 would be presented to Dr. Aster Patel for her invaluable contribution in developing Auroville, the city of dawn, which also marks its 50th anniversary this year. Born on 17th March to Dr. Indra Sen, a genius in the field of psychology who developed the course of integral psychology in the light of Sri Aurobindo's vision, and Nilavati, known as Violet in the ashram community, who was also a reputed social worker, Dr. Aster Patel was initially named Meera. Having visited the Sri Aurobindo Ashram for the first time in 1940, she joined the ashram in April 1943 with her mother and brother. She was one of the first students of the ashram school when it was started in December 1943. Her very first work in the ashram was to arrange flowers in big trays which were taken to the rooms of Sri Aurobindo and the mother. While she was still a student, the mother asked her to start teaching. Let me add that it was the mother herself who had named Astadi. From Meera, she had changed her name to Aster. So as I was saying, the mother asked her to start teaching. Therefore, at the age of 16, she started teaching to the young students of the ashram school. Later, she also worked as Dr. Indra Sen's secretary, managed his correspondence, and typed his writings. From 1962 to 1970, she was in Europe. During this period, she obtained her PhD in comparative literature from the University of Paris, Sorbonne, the subject of her thesis being a comparative study of the philosophies of Sri Aurobindo and Henry Bergson. She returned to Pondicherry in 1970 and resumed teaching at the higher course of Sri Aurobindo International Center of Education. She has held the Sri Aurobindo Chair of Philosophy at Benares Hindu University. In 2005, she received the Sri Aurobindo Puruskar, awarded by Sri Aurobindo Bhavan, Calcutta. For almost 48 years, she has been associated with Auroville and held responsibilities in the international zone at the Center for Research in Indian Culture and the Center of Indian Studies in Bharat Niwas. She was also a member of the governing body of the Auroville Foundation. She has participated in numerous seminars and conferences organized by various institutions and universities in India, Paris, New York, at UNESCO and United Nations. She is also a brilliant writer who has authored and published papers in philosophy, integral psychology, education, and yoga. An anthology of her writings was published in 2006 under the title of The Presence of Time. Dear friends, it is our privilege to be able to present the Auro Ratna Award named after Sri Aurobindo to Dr. Aster Patel, a most sincere child of the mother and Sri Aurobindo. Now, I would like to request Shri Manoj Das Gupta, the chief guest of today's program, to say a few words about our beloved Aster Didi.
Anurag, as usual, is a very clever boy. He says all that has to be said about Aster and then asks me to say something. He has not left anything for me to add. The only thing I can add is that we have grown up together. So, in fact, her family and our family had been very close together, especially her mother, Violetji. She was like a twin sister of my elder sister, Preeti. If you see the photos, when mother used to come to the playground, you'll often find them together by the side of mother. And she was my teacher for some time. And I dare say I was a favorite of her because she found a lot of resemblance in naughtiness with her son Cuckoo. The present juncture, what I can say is that Aster is one of the strongest link, if not the strongest link, between ashram and Auroville. Especially her work in Bharat Niwas is there for all to see. I don't think I shall elaborate too much because I can see Aster blushing. So we go with the ceremony. But before that, it will be nice if Aster says something. Especially I would like to hear from her when she was at Sorbonne. I believe she was one of the representatives of India from Sorbonne to the States. So if she could tell us some story about that period.
You know, if Shri Manoj puts me on the track of stories, there'll be too many to tell. So I will content myself with just one. When I worked at the Sorbonne, it was the first time a work on Aurobindo was accepted by the Sorbonne. But as soon as that work was over, Mother sent me a letter through Monsieur André, her son, who handled her foreign correspondence, saying that the United Nations in New York was celebrating its 25th anniversary in a very unusual manner. It had invited young people from around the world, young university people, that is. They were about 750. And they should be given the run of United Nations for 3 weeks, with none of the senior people present to hear them. How do they see the future? How do they want the future to be? So that the political leaders, hopefully, could work out their policies according to the dreams and ideals of the young people. Mother wanted me to go to that and represent Orwell. And I was not here in 1968, so I had really no idea of Orwell, except that it was obviously Aurobindo and the mother's dream and their ideas that were being worked out on a world stage. And so I was attached to the Indian delegation, but as an alternate, because the delegation had already been formed. And when I reached there, it was very strange. The appointed delegation in the month of July in summer was held up in London by fog for 2 days. So for all practical purposes, I was the only one from India talking about Orwell and Aurobindo in the United Nations. So this is a story. And as soon as my work was over, the fog in London lifted. And everyone else came, and so the whole thing started. So that was the beginning of Mother putting me in touch with Orwell and with the US. But in this connection, I would like to say something. Because I think after that, Ardip will have his chance to say what he has to share. I'm very grateful to Manoj, and Anurag to have created this occasion on the 50th anniversary of Mother's founding Orwell. It's 75 years this year that the Mother started the school to which reference has been made, which later became the Center of Education. And all of us meet here in this Hall of Harmony. I find it extremely significant, and I would like to share with you one small sentence of Sri Aurobindo's. He writes somewhere in the early days of Orwell, the existence of Orwell could prevent a world catastrophe. This has somehow got settled in here, and I think it remains with all of us. Thank you.
Now I'd like to request Padmashri Manoj Das to say a few words about Aster.
Manoj da, Aster di, Thank you, Anurag ji, for giving me the chance to pay my tribute to Aster. I will say only one thing. Over the last half century, we have been together in several seminars in different cities of India, mostly in Delhi. Well, you know how seminars go. They are intellectual exercises with everything minus the soul. I suddenly one day woke up to this truth, I should say, that whenever I had Aster in the same seminar with me, without my being conscious of it, I became conscious of it later. I was feeling a kind of strength, a solace, because not only he was an articulate speaker, sober to the point, and loved by everybody, but what I felt at that time was, more than words, she was well armed with a quality of silence. And when I read one of her statements before the Aurovillians, our friends in Auroville, recently, she had very clearly told there that from mother she learned many things, but most important of them was silence. What mother was communicating through silence. I am sure a bit of that quality she had imbibed, and that is what I used to feel at least in this seminar. So whenever I found her along with me in any seminar, well, I was absolutely confident of our some outcome, some minimum, reasonable outcome from any seminar, any event of that kind. It is quite obvious what trust mother had in her, because the moment, you see, today hundreds of PhD holders are there on Sri Aurobindo. When she did her PhD on a very unusual subject, Sri Aurobindo and Bergson, the subject itself symbolizes the vastness of Sri Aurobindo, how he can cover, he embraces so many systems all over the world. But anyway, that apart, the fact that the moment she completed her studies, mother's instruction directly to her to come to United Nations and to represent Auroville, which was just an infant at that time, speaks of her trust in her. And certainly she is a living example of justification of that trust. I congratulate Overman Foundation, Anurag Babu, for bestowing this award on her. Thank you very much, all of you.
I don't print out Julian Line's message. I'll do that.
Yes.
You read the other messages.
First I speak and you read the messages.
No, you do it.
Okay. Manoj Da and Manoj Da. Dear Aster, when I was coming to Auroville, I had the idea that only 3 people will come with me. But I am glad to see more Aurovillians, Karel from working committee, Priya Sundravalli, my friend Anna Mary and Alan, and Suryamai. She is doing Prasant, Lata, Suryamai, so many people from Auroville. I'm happy to see them. Before I come to the topic, I would like to say first something about Overman Foundation. I am aware of this since past few years. I have communicated with Anurag several times, but it is for the first time that we are meeting physically. In Sri Aurobindo's one of the articles on Dayananda, Sri Aurobindo gives the image that before him there is a series of hills, a mountain series. But one series, one mountain top is quite distinct, quite separate, quite unusual. And that is Dayananda, quite distinctive individuality. When I look at the Aurobindo landscape, there are so many, not so many, but there are centers in many cities. There are organizations. But two places stand out, quite distinct. One is a Gnostic Center in New Delhi, and another is Aurobindo Foundation. With his work, especially on his website, he is serving the cause of Sri Aurobindo, the cause of the future, in a very, very appreciable way. He is giving the Aurobindo community a shape, a certain organic shape. So I compliment Anurag very much for his work. I remember there was one online platform and one elderly lady. She was coming out of this online platform, and she said, "Okay, I am going out of the online platform, but I have Aurobindo Foundation to refer to." So he may not be knowing, but hundreds of people worldwide get certain support, mental support, inner support, psychic, spiritual support through his work. May I only request to Anurag that he should take good care of himself. He once told me that he was sick, he could not attend to certain work we were trying to do. So I want him not to tell me again the same thing again. He should be always healthy. All right. We can interpret Sri Aurobindo's in many ways. Sri Aurobindo's vision, work. One of the ways to interpret them is revolution. Sri Aurobindo brings a revolution. It is not the revolution as we know it on a physical plane, on a vital plane. It is a silent revolution. And Aster, from that perspective, is part of this revolution. She is a revolutionary. When I take about the image of Sri Aurobindo, several images come to, each person can have his own image of Sri Aurobindo. If I am allowed to have a little bit departure, I can tell one person, one student, Sri Aurobindo. He was son of the first Speaker of Indian Parliament, Mavlankar. A few months before his demise, he told me 3 images of Sri Aurobindo's work. He told me it is like a fantastic film is in the making. And you have been shown only a few part of the film. A long film, but you have been given only a few seconds and you are, oh, such a great film is coming. It is in the making. Another image he gave me is that of a music. A heavenly music is under preparation. And you are made to listen a small note of it and you are transported. Yet another image he gave, a very funny image. He's saying that an extremely delicious ice cream is in the making. And you are given a spoonful of this ice cream and you are enchanted. You are into blissful state and you forget everything else. I have my own way of approaching. The image I get is that of a 2 globe. One is a globe in which we live in. And this globe is made of mostly dark, inconscience, almost 50%, 60%. Another 35% is made of red, vitalistic life. And very little is yellow, mental life. And very little is culture, art, literature. And people, 90%, almost more than 90 people love this whole drama. Including our spirituality is part of this old world. But a totally new globe, after the descent of the supramental is born. And this globe is completely different. There is an eternal youth. There is a constant progress. There is a spontaneous joy. And this globe is slowly sliding into the old globe. Why I am telling this is that in Auroville, if there is one person who has put stress on this aspect of Sri Aurobindo, the new vibration, the advent of a new creation, new world, that is Aster. She has brought out quite a few booklets which ordinary people completely cannot understand. Just a small mark and on the top sentence, something new or some other sentence like this. So credit to point out this new aspect of Sri Aurobindo, this new advent, goes to Aster in Auroville. Another thing which I noted is her capacity to go to the heart of the thing. If there is any discussion, we are living in the same community. So if there is any discussion, collective meeting, everybody speaks. And when Aster speaks, she picks up the point, central point, just 2-3 sentences, but there is a pregnancy with thought, substance, or even perhaps I would say intuition. This is what Professor Manoj Das also hinted at. That is another contribution. And third contribution I would say is commitment. A scholarly person, a person who is more oriented towards research, keeps himself or herself separate. But Aster, when there is a collective meeting, resident assembly meeting, she just imparts herself, even if it is for 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, she will sit there, active part. She will not stay in home. And this has helped her. Whenever there is, for example, there is a VIP visit, Vice President visit, or when Abdul Kalam came, Aster was there. Working committee told them, and Aster was there to accompany them, to guide them, to answer their question. I remember when Vice President Bhagavat came to Auroville, he asked some questions, and I was surprised that Aster could give this kind of answer. He asked to Aster how to concentrate. Vice President, how to concentrate. But Aster gave the answer. Because he was told that Matri Mandir is for concentration. So he asked this question. Then he says, what is the difference between religion and spirituality? And Aster has a very beautiful answer to give. He said that spirituality goes direct to the experience. This is a very beautiful insight, even for us also. The difference between spirituality goes direct to the experience and begins from experience. So, I'm glad that Aster has been recognized, is getting recognized. And I really want that Aster to what I said to Anurag, I also say to Aster that she take good care of herself. She has many more years to live. She should reach 100 years. There is a club of people like Narodbaran and Amal Kiran. They have reached century, and she also should reach that club. She should join that club. Thank you very much for your coming. I see one Aurovillian, Surya Mai here. She is also doing PhD in Auroville. And I also hope that someday she will also qualify for Auro Ratna Award. Thank you. I read. Okay, I am supposed to represent certain people. Working committee has sent some message of Auroville, but I see Raj Karel is here. I won't like with the Karel. Okay, so I read out for Karel. It is working committee. On behalf of working committee of Auroville Foundation, there is some messages which I read out. The working committee of the Auroville Foundation was pleased to learn that Dr. Aster Patel is being honored by receiving the Auro Ratna Award from the Aurobindo Foundation, Kolkata. Dr. Aster Patel has been one of the dedicated servants of Auroville in the light of Sri Aurobindo and Mother. For many years, she was part of the governing board of the Auroville Foundation, where her work and efforts have contributed invaluably in the journey of Auroville in many ways, and she continues to contribute still today. We appreciate that the board of the Aurobindo Foundation has chosen her for its 9th Auro Ratna Award and commend their step. We are also happy and aware that earlier another Aurovillian, Sradhavan, was also honored with this award. We convey our appreciation for the work that Aurobindo Foundation is doing and hope for a growing association between Auroville and Aurobindo Foundation. Thank you. Okay, there are a few more messages which Anurag wants me to read out. Yes, message from Julian Lyons. Julian Lyons, you may not know, he is one of our part of the family, larger family, but he not lives in Auroville, he lives in USA. Julian Lyons, he is even running a shop, Pondicherry, you might meet. He is now managing Matagiri. Aster was witness to the revolutionary spirit of the youth of Paris in 1968 as it spread around the world. She maintained her friendship abroad, especially with Michael Murphy at the Esalen Institute, California, who ultimately served on Auroville's International Advisory Board and Advisory Council, and George Nakashima and their daughter Mira in New Hope, Pennsylvania, who brought peace table to Auroville. Aster has been a keynote speaker at all our USA meetings and brought her quiet dignity and insight to those already in our spiritual family, as well as those learning integral psychology, the legacy of her father Indra Sen. We at Matagiri Sri Aurobindo Center and the Integral Yoga community in America are most grateful for the time she has spent with us abroad and for the seeds she has nurtured in establishing the New York City Study Circle. This is from Julian Lyons. Then there is a message from another former Aurovillian Patrice. His another name is Sankar. Dearest Aster, Heartfelt congratulations to you for this well-deserved Auro Ratna Award. Uma and I are glad that your valuable contributions to Sri Aurobindo's fame throughout the world be thus recognized. As for me, Big Patrice, I shall always remember your smiling benevolence for our shenanigans during the revolution. Lots of love from Uma and Shankar. And there is a last message from one Aurovillian, Marguerite Mala. Dear Aster, always I will be grateful that you have let us know so vividly about your stories and your experiences with mother as a child and in the ashram, so that we can know better about the mother's social work in education and life. Those experiences are so precious, and it is a gift that they are recorded and sadhaks of the integral yoga can listen to them. And deep from my soul, I am most grateful that you are living embodiment that is little bit going divine love, compassion. This is something very much very special and rare to me. With lines from Savitri, I like to express my honor. A deep of compassion, a hushed sanctuary, her inwarded help unbarred a gate in heaven. Love in her was wider than the universe. The whole world could take refuge in her single heart. The great unsatisfied Godhead here could dwell, vacant of her dark self, imprisoned air. Her mood could harbor her sublimer breath, spiritual that can make all things divine. For even their gulfs were secrecies of light. At once she was a stillness in the world, a continent of self-diffusing peace, a ocean of untrembling virgin fire. Strength and silence of the gods were hers. In her found a vastness like in own, his high warmth subtly thoroughly found. And moved in her like his in all natural home, in her he met his own eternity, with light and love and joy. That's all. This is from Margit Mala. Thank you.
Thank you, Aridev. Aster does not only belong to the ashram or Auroville. She is a global personality, and that is why people from all parts of the world have sent messages to her. But unfortunately, due to paucity of time, we are unable to read out all the messages. These messages would be duly uploaded in our website, but I'll just take 2 minutes to read out 2 messages sent by 2 dear friends of Aster. One is Shumitra from France, and the other person is Shuprabha Nahar. I'll first read out Shumitra's message for you. Aster. When she was born, she was named our sweet mother's namesake. So, when she came to the ashram, the Divine Mother made her a shining star in her and Sri Aurobindo's eternal and infinite blue sky, full of their smile and light. Thus, she became our very dear Aster. The deep friendship between us is evergreen in my heart. I feel as if we have known each other in all our previous lives. She is universal. Besides, she has so many qualities that it is impossible to enumerate them. My loving thoughts are always with her, and my memory remembers all we did together since we met first time in the ashram in this life. Be happy and be ever smiling, dear Aster. So, on this occasion, all I can say that she is one of their dearest sweet child. Congratulations, Sumitra. And the last message is from Shumitra's youngest sister, Shuprabha Nahar. And I quote, "Got it straight from the horse's mouth. Sri Anurag Banerjee, founder of Women Foundation, gave me the happy news that this year's Auro Ratna Award is being given to Dr. Aster Patel. For us, she is only Aster, our childhood friend. And we are still friends, though in between she has done her doctorate in philosophy. So many achievements to her credit, which I need not narrate, because these will be there in the citation. In spite of holding high offices, she is still very friendly with us. We studied and played together and grew up under the mother's eyes. I am really happy that she has been conferred this prestigious award this year. Shuprabha Nahar. Dear friends, now it's time for us to present the Auro Ratna Award to Aster Didi. I would like to first request Padmashri Manoj Das to present the Angavastram and citation to Aster Didi. And now, I would like to request Manoj Da to present the trophy to Aster Didi.
I perhaps don't have the absolute exact words, but Mother wrote something a long time back that all of us are all united in a very special work. These were her words. Let us not forget, these were again her words, that work is there for all of us, and that is to hasten the advent of the new consciousness. And this is the moment to be together and to work together for that. I wish I had the card with me, but maybe I can share it with others afterwards. Her exact words. That this is a special moment, don't lose it. And we are all together, ashram, Orwell, or Mother's children round the world. And Orwell has the world over there, right here. Somehow the way she insisted on it I'll have that card given to Carol to put it around, and I'll give it to you, Anila.